Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Today I am going to discuss with you regarding the performance appraisal, and I'm going to focus on the question papers and the questions raised by the last 3 years. And I'm not going to talk about the performance appraisal in detail. I'm just going to focus on the questions only here. So there are few questions we can highlight it and identified in last 3 years common questions, and these questions are frequently asked by the examiners. So we have to, so these are must read questions areas in the performance appraisal system. So the first question is why we need performance appraisal. This question also very common question in the past paper. So before going into the why we need the performance appraisal, I think it's better to know or get some sort of idea about the what is the performance appraisal. So performance appraisal is known as performance review or evaluation, right? It is a structured process used by organizations to assess the job performance of an employee. කියන්නේ job performance එකක් employee කෙනෙක්ගේ job performance එක මයින්න තියෙන structured process එකක් තමයි මෙතන performance appraisal එකක් කියලා කියන්නේ. ඒතකොට මෙතනදී it involves evaluating an individual's achievement, strengths and the weaknesses and overall contributions to the organization's goals and the objectives. Right? Okay, typically the performance appraisals are conducted periodically, such as annually or semi-annually, though some organizations might have more frequent reviews. Okay, so that is the performance and appraisal. So why we are doing this? There are few basic things, okay, we must keep in our mind when we come to this question why we need a performance appraisal. The first one is it is an integral part of the performance management system. Okay, so it is the performance appraisal play an integral role in the employee's performance management process, and it is in the central of the PMS. If you try to recall your memories of the performance management system, so the third one is the performance measurement, performance planning, performance enabling, measurement. So here the performance appraisal is coming to the central part of the performance management system. So that is why it is called as an integral part of an PMS, performance management system, right? And then it can be used to identify or the correcting deficiencies and the reinforcement the things done correctly. So supervisors and subordinate develop a plan for correcting any deficiencies of the performance of any employee and to reinforce the things done correctly by the employees. So there are three things, no, the deficiencies and the things done correctly. So what we need to do for the deficiencies, we have to correct them, and for the things done correctly, we have to reinforce them. So that is one of the requirement of the performance appraisal. And we can use this tool career performance appraisal for the career planning of any employee. So we can review the strength and weaknesses of the employee through this system, performance appraisal. Okay, and other than that we can use this for the so there is a effect to the employee's salary increasement and the promotion decisions. Because why we are using this performance appraisal, through that we can measure their strength and the weaknesses. So based on that we can realize that how this employee is contribute to the achievement of the organizational goals. So based on that, as per the concept of paper performances, So we can decide the salary increment and the promotions of the employee. So these are the requirement of the performance appraisal, right? Integral part of the PMS performance management system, and they correct in deficiencies and the reinforce the things done correctly, and career planning review the strengths and weaknesses, and finally we can utilize this tool for the salary increasement and the promotions. Okay, so this is the first question, and the next question is the role of the HR. So this is not the single task of the HR system or human resource management department or the manager. So, and this is a shared responsibility of the both of them. Okay, so there are some roles to play for the HR, as well as there are some roles to play for the managers also. So when we consider about the roles of the HR, so they have to policy making and the advisor role. So they have to make the policies, because most of the managers, they are not aware about these policies of the performance appraisal system. Therefore we as the human HR team, so you have to make a policy, and you have to make play a role as an advisory role. Okay, and then advice and assistance on the appraisal tool. There are a lot of appraisals tool, no? So what kind of appraisal tools you have? Graphic rating skills, alternative rankings, payout comparisons. So there are a lot of appraisal tools. Okay, so but you have to clearly analyze and choose which tool is utilized for the each individual. So you can advise and assistance on the appraisal tool. Okay, and train supervisors. Most of the supervisors, they are not aware about the performance appraisal system. They are just giving marks, right? There are some supervisors, they are willing to give maximum marks to their under command employees, and there are some supervisors, they are very reluctant to give marks to the under command employees. Therefore, so train supervisors on how to conduct this performance appraisal is one of the role of the HR. Then prepare details, forms and the procedures for the performance appraisal, also one of the role of the HR team. And monitor the appraisal system. So just we can't keep our hand away once we have developed and hand over the performance appraisal forms to the managers. We have to monitor that, and we have to always give the advice to them. Okay, so we have to monitor that system until the things done correctly. Okay, right. So this is the roles of the human resource department. Then steps in the appraisal. Basically, there are 3 steps in the performance appraisal system. The first one is so you cannot find this question as a direct question. They will not ask what are the steps in the appraisal, but they will ask this question indirectly. So how we are going to plan a performance appraisal or the implement a performance appraisal? So to answer that question, you need to know the steps in the appraisal system. Okay, the first one is the define the job. So here, so making sure that you and your subordinate agrees on her duties and the standard. So you and your subordinate who are going to appraise, so you both of you should have an agreement on your duties, job descriptions and the job specifications and the standards, right? Define the job. Then once it has been done, then appraise the performances. So here, so you have to compare your subordinates actual performances to the standard that have been set by the performance appraisal system. So there may be some the performance have been set, no? So you have to compare your employees actual performances and the performances that have been set. Okay, and then the third one is feedback sessions. So once we have set and evaluate that, then you have to continuously get the feedbacks. Okay, discussing your subordinates performances and progress, and make developmental plan. So then what you have to do, you have to get the feedbacks and you have to identify their strengths and the weaknesses, and then you have to formulate a development plan for the each employee. So these are the three steps in the appraisal system. If you get any questions like that, then you have to keep these steps as a base and write a answer for that questions. Okay, right. So then this question also a very common question in the past paper, the potential appraisal problems. Basically there are three potential appraisal problems. The first one is unclear standards, then the second one is rating errors, and the third one is biases. So these three are the main potential appraisal problems. There are some subtopics under that, so we will look into them. The first one is unclear standard. What do you mean by the unclear standard? Unclear standards. So unclear standard means there are something like leadership, teamwork, commitment that cannot be measured. So it's very difficult to set the clear standards to measure the such kind of things, the commitment and the what do you call that, the leadership and the uh, such kind of things. Okay, because in the performance appraisal step we told that the second step, okay, the appraisal performances, right? So here we have to check the appraisal, the actual performances and the standard that can be set. So it's very difficult to set the standards for this kind of things, right? So that is the potential appraisal problem, the first one. Then the rating errors. So there are basically three rating errors. The first one is the leniency and the strictness. So what do you mean by the leniency? So that is all enough. That means sometimes you are the the who are doing the performances appraisal, right? He always give maximum marks, right? All are in the top. So that is the leniency, right? Strictness is all lying down, right? So there are particular managers, they are very reluctant to give the marks to their employees. So all line down. So that is the strictness. So central tendency is all line middle. That means they don't care. They are not evaluate the employees correctly. They just give a marks, right? The central, the madum පිළිවෙත අනුගමනය කරන the managers ලා central tendency. Okay, and the recency errors mean last action is solo and encourage frequent evaluation. Okay, that means they are measuring the giving the doing the evaluation with the mark with the recent happening. Just they are consider only recent happening. They are not going to consider about their past. Okay, recency errors. So these are some rating errors: leniency and strictness, central tendency, and the recency errors. So then there are some biases. So the first one is a cognitive bias. Cognitive bias is your thinking pattern. Okay, so you are taking decisions with the premature perception. So you have some premature perceptions or any idea about one of the employee. So based on that you are taking a decision. Cognitive biases. හරිද? ඒ කියන්නේ එක එක එම්ප්ලොයි කෙනෙක් ඉන්නවා, ඔයාට එයාගේ අතින් මොකක් හරි you have witness one mistake from that. So based on that mistake you are going to measure him. තේරෙනවද? මොකක් හරි වැරද්දක් කරපු මිනිස්සෙක්ගේ වැරද්ද මත පදනම් වෙලා ඒ මිනිස්සයා මෙහෙමයි කියලා හිතේ තියෙන perception එකත් එක්ක යවම අයින්නවා අපි. It's a cognitive bias. Right? So correspondent bias is what? So there are few situations. underemphasize situational and the environmental explanations, then overemphasizing dispositional and the personality based explanations, right? And tendency to believe that what people do reflect who they are. ඒ කියන්නේ මොකද්ද? මේ කියන්නේ මේ correspondence bias කියලා කියන්නේ මේක මේ මිනිස්සෙක් කරන දේෙන් ඒ මිනිස්සයා අපි බයිනවා. අර පොතේ පිටකාරී මිනිස්සෙක් මයින්නවා වගේ වැඩක් තමයි මේක. But we cannot do that, no. So that is correspondence bias. Okay? And then the actor observer biases කියලා කියන්නේ මොකද්ද? So just think you and your friend, okay? So you have got a pass and your friend also got a pass, right? So here you are the actor. So you think that you got a pass because you are smart, right? But your friend got a pass because he is lucky. Oh, whatever the things he just study, they came to the paper. So that is why he got a. He is not a smart guy, right? So that is the actor observer biases. හිතන්නේ ඔයා තමයි කියලා. Clear? So then self-serving biases also somewhat similar to that actor observer biases. So that means, for example, here that means you got a F pass for the performance appraisal. It's because you think that it's not because of your fault. It's the fault of the examiners who checked your paper, or the examiner the who prepared the paper. Right? You are not wrong. You are perfect. Right? That is self-serving biases. And the group serving biases කියලා කියන්නේ same thing as a group. අපේ ටීම් එක අපි වැරද්දක් කළා නැහැ. අපි ෆේල් උනේ ඒක හිතන්නකො මැච් එකක් කියලා අපි මැච් එකේදී අපි පෙරදුනා. ඒක මැච් එක පෙරදුනේ අපි ටීම් එක හොඳට සෙල්ලම් කරා අම්පයර්ගේ වැරද්දෙන්. Right? Okay, clear? Right. Then the victim blaming biases is, for example, if you take any sexual harassment, right, for the lady in your office, so here, so you going to blame to the victim. That means the lady. Okay, මේ ගෑනු කෙනා කොටට ඇඳන් එනවා හැමදාම, and he is having unauthorized unwanted affiliations with the most of the guys in the office. So such kind of things you are blaming to the victim. Okay, so these are the biases, and these are the potential appraisal problems, unclear standards, rating errors, and the biases. I hope this is clear. I am not going to go in detail. I am just leaving a foundation only, right? Okay. So that's all about the potential. There are a lot of things for the performance appraisal. For example, we can tell that who performs the appraisal, self-appraisals, immediate supervisor, higher managements, subordinate peers, evaluation teams, customers, 360 degrees appraisals, right? Such kind of things, bars, MBOs, right? And the how to measure, what to measure. Okay, there are a lot of things in the performance appraisal, but these are some common questions which came to the past question papers, right? I just focused only to the past papers, right? So that's all for the performance appraisal. Thank you very much.